Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're taking you with us as we explore Barcelona in just one day, entirely by foot. We'll walk you through the distance, the time it takes, how to navigate the crowds, and share our best tips and honest suggestions from our experience along the way.
We decided to take over Barcelona by foot for this challenge. While we would recommend a scooter if you want to fit more into your itinerary, we found the busy streets were best suited for us to weave through on foot. Barcelona in the summer is busy and hot, so do come prepared with water, a hat, patience, and even a personal fan. This is a highly touristic location that blends into the locals' daily hustle and bustle. However, those we encountered along the way were friendly and helpful.
We started our day walking from our Hotel Rosellón, to tour some of the Gaudi locations: Sagrada Familia, Casa Vicens, Casa Milà, and Casa Batlló. Sagrada Familia was in our backyard, literally. We personally would recommend staying in this area as you can devote immediate attention to the Basilica first thing in the morning. While there is a debate on the best time to visit the Basilica, we found that early in the day provided much fewer crowds, cooler temperatures for ascending and descending the facades, and still a beautiful display of color with the sun beaming through the stained glass windows. When we arrived at 9 a.m., there were around 100 onlookers on the Basilica grounds. By the time we left, about 11:30 a.m., that number tripled on site.
Most of the initial mile-and-a-half walk was quiet as we weaved through neighborhoods and storefronts, until about a half a mile from Casa Vicens. This is where the city became crowded and full of life. As we arrived just outside Casa Vicens in the Verde neighborhood, there was a park concert, pop-up jewelry tents, and a sweet little coffee shop to grab a bite to go. The very Verde, we would rate this a 7 out of 10. The walk from our hotel to Casa Vicens took us roughly 40 minutes. Of the 3 locations, this barely had a crowd. It is tucked in a small street out of most people's view.
We next walked towards Casa Milà down the Passeig de Gràcia. On our way, we had to stop by Empanada Club for a freshly made empanada. We rate this 10 out of 10. Little did we know, at the moment we were on this particular street, the city was celebrating Festa Major de Gràcia, Barcelona's most popular neighborhood festival. It was a very intense use of firecrackers, drums, costumes, and crowds. While it was intimidating for someone foreign, the pride and showmanship of both those involved and onlookers was breathtaking. The mile walk from Casa Vicens to Casa Milà took us roughly 25 minutes. With the festival and the high-end shops along the roadway, this location was very steady with foot traffic. Casa Milà sits right on a busy corner intersection, bringing attention to its unique curves and design. We would recommend buying tickets for these last 2 houses ahead of time if you plan on touring inside.
Next, we moved to Casa Batlló, which is a quick quarter-mile walk of roughly 8 minutes. The sidewalk for this house was overflowing. Between shoppers from the surrounding stores and those trying to enter the house, it was packed. We'd recommend coming to this location first if you plan to enter inside each house. The biggest thing that will slow you down along the street is waiting on the crosswalks to turn in your favor.
Our journey led us another half mile to pass along what can be considered the center of Barcelona, Plaça de Catalunya. This is truly a hub for the masses. It is a central location for train and bus transportation and doubles as a large square, a sort of concrete jungle park. It is interesting to see and only took us 10 minutes to get there, but I would recommend spending a brief amount of time mainly studying the statues surrounding the area.
Without much slowing down, we made our way another roughly quarter mile to the Roman city wall. Blink and you'll miss it. It was slightly hard to find, and unfortunately most of this area was under construction. With ground crews working, construction walls up, and tightened walkways, it was heavily crowded. However, it still only took us about 8 minutes to get there. Just a few steps away, we tried our luck at walking under Pont de Bisbee. This is one of those spots where it's more entertaining to play into the lure of the piece than to visit the piece itself. Even though we chose not to spend too long in this area, we would recommend taking an hour or so to visit the Cathedral de Barcelona or see the Temple de August before moving on.
Our day was winding down, but we had one more place to visit. We continued 3/4 of a mile to the Parisian lookalike, the Arc de Triomphe. It was a solid 20-minute stroll along mainly small business storefronts and through local crowds. This was a unique experience with the placement of the Arc and its surrounding city scenery. While the walk to the spot was light on crowds, as it had been in the beginning of the day, the groups were en masse when we arrived. Lastly, we headed back to our hotel, a 1 1/4 mile walk, which took 30 minutes to finally complete our circle.
We arrived back at our hotel to try out the rooftop restaurant Terraza Cercado Rosero. The food and service was great. Do you know that if you are staying at this location, you do not need to reserve a time for dinner? If you are not staying on this location, you'll want to reserve a spot ASAP. When we ate at 10 p.m., in which they closed at 11 p.m., every table was still packed and we had to actually wait for a seat. Even with this, we would do this again and again. The food was amazing and the views felt like a painting.
Do keep in mind that no matter what time of day you are walking the city, there is a mandate to remain respectful of the apartments surrounding you by keeping a quiet demeanor. Signs state that anyone causing too much disturbance will receive a hefty fine. As we said in the beginning of this video, while you can walk this city, taking a scooter or electric bike from location to location can help you fit in more sightseeing at a faster rate. Walking alone, we spanned 5.5 miles with a walking time of just below 2.5 hours. In the end, you can manage to fit plenty of sights into one day in Barcelona. However, we would recommend devoting 2 days for expanded locations like markets, museums, and even Montjuic.
If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And be on the lookout for our next video,
as we give our honest opinions on do's and don'ts for your next trip to Barcelona.